Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I am here with the finale. Can you believe it? The finale to my 1 week, 1 palette eyeshadow series. I started this because I saw that Alexy was going to be doing this. It turned out that she ended up not doing updates. I think she just got very busy with moving and such, but I'm still gonna link you to her channel because she has several years of awesome panning content, lots of eyeshadow content. So I'll make sure and link you over there because she's the one who got me going on this project. But the essence of this project was use a palette for a week, try and use as many of the shades as possible, see if I like the palette, if not, declutter it, and I even surprised myself, I did declutter some palettes and others I depotted. So I first will talk about the palettes that I used in this last rotation and then do a sum up. So first, Colourpop, That's Taupe. You guys watch my channel, you know that this is the type of shades I really enjoy. I love a great cool toned, sparkly moment. I'm in love with these shades up here for single shadow matte looks, for a really easy, barely there look, but that somehow still makes you look like you tried. So I'm gonna put up some looks that I did here and quick talk about them. I did find that once you start mixing the shadows in different looks, a lot of the looks ended up looking pretty similar. This first look, you'll notice the sparkle on the lid. That was this Super Shock in the palette called Slated. That's the kind of sparkle that one creates. The second look, I was actually even simpler. I didn't use nearly as many shadows in the second look as I did in the first one. I just used Rock Steady here all over the lid, blended out into the crease, and then I topped it with one of the Super Shocks that came with this collection, Ritz. I actually really enjoyed that look. I thought it was super pretty. And for the third look, to make sure that I had used all the shades in the palette, I used Bedrock in the outer corner, Pebble Beach in the crease, and Snake Eyes all over the lid. So you see what I mean looking at the pictures at how a lot of the looks ended up looking very similar to each other. I don't mind that with this because, you know, it is a monochromatic themed palette of just plain taupe. But what I do like about this is, like I said about these mattes, how most of them, I mean, I guess I wouldn't use this one for a one shadow look, it's just too deep for me, but all of them actually were really, really nice one shadow matte looks. And I like all the shimmers. Both Constrictor and Cold Blooded I prefer to use in the outer corner because they're a little bit of deep shades. But Snake Eyes is a really beautiful, more pinky taupe that you can put on your lid. Really, really pretty for that. So I'm definitely hanging on to this. I really, really enjoyed this one. I did experience some fallout though with the shimmers, so something to keep in mind if you're interested in this palette. For the second week, I went with one of the palettes I've had in my stash for quite a while. This is the Bling Boss Jaclyn Hill palette, and this was a gift from a friend. And every time I use it, I surprise myself with how much I like this palette. The particular week that I was using this, I was not feeling inspired to use colors. I was kind of getting tired of doing a lot of eyeshadow looks, and I was feeling like I wanted to sleep all the time. I hope you know what I mean. But I did manage to use color at least one of the days. I wanted to use Gem, which is this purple here that I just never ever use. And I blended that onto the outer corner, then put Ballsy on the inner corner. I used Berry Treasure as a liner, which is a black with like purple sparkles in it, and used Hush Hush in the crease, which is my favorite shade in the palette. It's one of those glorious, let me quick swatch it for you, mattes with like a little bit of lavender, a little bit of mauve, a little bit of gray, a little bit, I don't know, it's just the most beautiful crease shade for me. So any shade or any look that I did with this palette, I absolutely used Hush Hush. But anyway, I thought that purple look turned out really, really pretty. That's one that I would wear again. I really liked it. For the next couple looks, I just kept it really simple. Hush Hush in the crease and Glitz and Glam all over the lid for the second look. And then for the third look, I actually thought this turned out really, really pretty. I used, once again, Hush Hush in the crease and then Bling Bling all over the lid. And that was such a pretty, like understated looks, but it was one of those looks where if you see someone from across the room when they blink and you see some sparkles and you go, oh, that's pretty. Like it wasn't anything out there, but I really just felt really cute wearing that. So yeah, I'm keeping this. This is kind of a surprise. I know a lot of people like to hate on Morphe, and I honestly don't use all the shades in this palette. Like I don't use these reds because I don't like red on me, but I like the pinks and I like the purples. So yeah, I'll be keeping it. Then for the last one, I'm trying to shine this because I've got my fingerprints all over it. The Milani Soft and Sultry, very, very shiny. So this is one of those palettes I bought at TJ Maxx on sale. I think it was something like $5, and then I didn't really use it very much at all. I've had it all year and had hardly touched it. And going into using this palette, I was kind of the mindset that I might just get rid of it just because I have the taupe one, I have other cool tone palettes that I like, and I just didn't know if I needed it. So I kind of went in with the expectation of thinking it would be pretty and then willingly pass it on to somebody else. But actually, I think I'm going to keep it. I swatched out a bunch of the shades and I actually found it very difficult to dupe. The tones in this are unique to this palette. I think the only one that was exact is this shade down here. What shadow is that? Come Hither. Which I found very similar to a shade from Makeup Geek, Egyptian Queen, I think it was. But the rest of them, not so much. And honestly, when I use this palette, I don't even use this bottom row. It's all just very deep. If I want to deepen it up, I use one of these two shimmers in the outer corner. And even this shade doesn't look that deep in the pan, but I think it's just pretty pigmented. And on me, that's as deep as I need in the outer corner. And I'm kind of annoyed with myself. I only have one picture of a look that I did. I don't know exactly what happened there, but for the look, I used Smokin' Hot on the outer corner, Come Hither all over the lid, and then Diamonds and Pearls tapped over the top. This shade surprised me. Like, I thought it would be a lot more kapow-y. You know, that's a word, kapow-y than it was. But I thought it was more just like a soft topper shade. But it was very useful for lightening these shades up a little bit. I do wish that this palette had more of a light to mid-tone lid shade. These can be a little deep, especially these two. This one's pretty deep. So I do wish there was more of a shade between this one and this one in terms of intensity. But for now, yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I also think it'd be really handy for duping out palettes that I want in the future to show myself that I don't need them. Duping out palettes is something that I want to do more of next year, and I do think this will be very handy for that. So I'm gonna keep it. So over the course of this entire project, I tried out every palette in my stash. The ones that I decided to declutter were not because I disliked them. I just felt like I either didn't need them or I felt like someone else would enjoy them more than me. I sent my Butter London? Yeah, Butter London palette to my sister. What's that one called? Something like the Glam Goddess or something. Natural Goddess, maybe. And then I gave my Huda Mauve palette to a friend and she was thrilled. It was just, the color scheme was completely up her alley, which made me so happy. And then I decided to depot my Essence Salute Paris palette. They, again, were shades that I thought would be very handy for duping out. And actually, I really liked the mattes. I was unwilling to let go of them. And so never mind a bunch of the other shadows in this palette, but this section here, oh my goodness, you can see my sloth pants that I'm wearing, my sloth sweatpants. Let's move that down here. These are all shades from the Salute Paris palette. So what did I learn about myself this year about my eyeshadow? I found out that most of the time I love the neutral looks, but I still enjoy having some color to play around with once in a while. Also, pulling out one or two palettes just to have out at a time is probably something that I will continue doing in my Shop My Stashes in the future, just to make sure that I'm using all my palettes equally. But from now on, I'm also very interested to see which palettes I just pull out when I want them, to see if there's others that I like but for some reason don't reach for. That will be something interesting to watch for as well. I also learned that I don't really need more eyeshadow, and it is a weakness of mine. I like the pretty sparkly things, you know, so I know that I'm not going to stop buying, but I do hope that next year I can, hopefully, using the stash that I have now, dupe out new palettes to show myself I don't need to buy them, and hopefully just enjoy my collection instead of pining after all the new stuff. Thank you guys so much to all of you who have watched this project and followed along. I really do appreciate your support of my channel. I appreciate all your comments and all your likes. Thank you so much. It really does help out my channel with the YouTube algorithm when you engage like that, so thank you so very much. I did put up yesterday my new eyeshadow project that I have going, which I am very excited about. And I will be starting another one in January, so keep on the lookout for that, but I'll make sure and link the new project that I started down below in case you missed it. All right, that's it for me, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!